learn how one local church is joining a nationwide initiative to reduce violence by turning guns into garden tools. Also, it was an early morning for soccer fans cheering on the U.S. men's team in the World Cup. We'll show you the scene at a local watch party coming up. And a Madison college honoring the Hmong New Year with a celebration featuring live music and dance. How it also educates our community, just ahead at 10.
We can turn our thoughts and prayers into action and give people that sense of healing and hope.
This weekend in Cambridge, leaders from a Presbyterian church are working to end gun violence in their community. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm McKenna Alexander. Today, the Oakland-Cambridge Presbyterian Church joined a nationwide movement called the Guns to Gardens Gun Buyback. As our Catherine Merck reports, the congregation's leader hopes this event will move his community away from violence.
This church is taking guns and turning them into something they think symbolizes growth. At the Oakland-Cambridge Presbyterian Church, they choose to live by their faith.
We are a small membership church, but we offer a witness in this community.
On Saturday, the church became a place for unwanted guns to transform into garden tools in exchange for gift cards. The church's pastor says it's a message that reflects their beliefs.
Instead of just flooding the market with more guns, to actually take a step in a direction that brings healing, a symbol of that, of peace.
This isn't the first event like this in our area.
We did not expect this amount of weapons, this amount of relevant weapons.
Back in August, the Dane County Sheriff's Office collected 577 firearms of various kinds in a similar program. Though only 6 guns were collected at the Cambridge church, the pastor says every action by his community counts.
It may have been a small flicker of light, given that we had a small attendance, but it was something shining in the darkness of gun violence in our world that really has cast a pall of darkness over our whole nation.
For those who aren't religious, the pastor hopes the message of this event can spread his faith to others.
We can turn our thoughts and prayers into action and give people that sense of healing and hope.
The pastor here tells me he hopes there's more events like this in the Madison area and at their church in the future. Reporting in Cambridge, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
Let's take a look now at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright. Julian, hope you're bundled up out there because it is frigid.
That's right, McKenna. I had to add an extra layer because of how cold things are for us as we're getting the rest of our Saturday nights. On top of it, winds aren't as strong as they were last night, but folks, the cold trilogy is still continuing for us here in southern Wisconsin. 20 degrees as of right now. We're going to see those temperatures fall a little bit more, but then start to be steady into the 20s as we head into our Sunday morning. But the wind chills are going to be a factor once again for us. We can see 10 degrees is what it feels like in Madison. Not as bad in Janesville at 18 degrees, but it feels like single digits for Platteville at 6 degrees right now. Areas to the north are close to the 0 point as we're continuing throughout the rest of tonight. But we're looking at wind speeds, once again, not being nearly as breezy as they were last night, but even just the 8 miles per hour is enough to add the extra chill. Temperatures will fall to about 17 degrees for us here in Madison. Areas like Janesville could see lower 20s, but overall it is going to be another cold one until we start to see a bit of improvement heading into tomorrow, where we'll see high temperatures in the upper 30s and the low 40s. We'll talk about how we can plan the rest of our weekend and the start of our new work week coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Madison police are searching for a missing woman tonight who was last seen this morning on the city's west side. A silver alert has been issued for 62-year-old Everly Triplett, who was last seen at 10 a.m. on Brompton Circle, which is near the intersection of Raymond Road and McKenna Boulevard. Triplett is 5 feet 9 inches tall, has short gray hair, and is missing some teeth. She was last seen wearing a black Raiders zip-up hoodie sweatshirt and brown leather men's shoes. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to call Madison Police at the number on your screen. Badger Volleyball opened the NCAA tournament in dominating fashion last night, sweeping its first-round opponent, Quinnipiac. Tonight, the team's back at the Fieldhouse for round 2. Jordan joins us now to share more about the second round. Jordan?
Yeah, McKenna, the Badgers just know how to shine in those big moments. The first round of the tournament, UW comes away with a sweep of Quinnipiac, but they held the Bobcats to 9 points in the second set and then just 4 in the third. Well, clearly, that momentum carried over to tonight's second-round matchup with TCU. That also happens to be a rematch of the Badgers' season season opener. So they started the year with a sweep of the Horned Frogs, and they do it again tonight in the postseason. 13 kills by Sarah Franklin allows Wisconsin to get it done in straight sets. And now it's off to regionals for the 10th straight season on a 20-match win streak. We're going to dive deeper into tonight's match when I come back for sports.
Were on the World Cup this morning as the U.S. men's national advanced to the knockout stage of the World Cup for the first time since 2014. Soccer fans flocked to Forward Madison to cheer on the team today. Our Andrew Banstra was there and brings us a glimpse into that excitement.
Fans of Forward Madison and football flocked to the Forward Club first thing Saturday morning to see Team USA in the knockout round of the World Cup.
Brought you out here today to support the USA. We got to get it done.
But even if the Stars and Stripes didn't finish on top, today was still one to remember.
It feels like Christmas for me. This is like one of the best days ever. Just to, experience it with hundreds of other people at a stadium that, I work at, and a stadium that means so much to a lot of people. It's just a really cool atmosphere.
A soccer fan or not, we all fall for the world sport every 4 years.
I think World Cup brings out, the fans that are kind of fringe fans as well. So, get a little patriotic, a little bit of soccer, get everyone together, and, Saturday morning, a little bit of beer can't hurt.
The Forward Club opened earlier this year, just in time to create Madtown's go-to soccer spot.
Just create a place and an atmosphere that was inclusive and welcoming to all, so that everyone could kind of enjoy the beautiful game. And so it wasn't just for U.S. men's national team games, it was for all of the World Cup. And so we've been open 7 to 3 p.m. 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day for it.
And while it wasn't the result people were looking for, the camaraderie was in the air. Americans all coming together around one central thing. It feels good.
The energy is so palpable. Like, you can see and feel the emotions of people. I think that just speaks to soccer as a game, It means so much more than just the sport to a lot of folks.
Win or lose, Forward's goal is to grow the game.
I mean, that's the goal at the end of the day, right? Is to create a culture and create a movement around Madison and beyond that, soccer is here and here to stay.
At Breeze Stevens Field, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
Today, hundreds of skiers and snowboarders packed into Varsity Hall at Union South for the largest ski swap in the Midwest. The 58th annual Hoover Ski and Snowboard Resale has deals on all kinds of winter gear, including new equipment from local and national vendors and used gear from those in our community. If you're planning on hitting the slopes soon, you may first want to hit the ski swap for some deals, with the sale continuing tomorrow from 8 a.m. till noon. Proceeds from this sale help Hoover ski teams, as well as other trips planned by the club. Wisconsin Hoopers is an outdoor club at UW-Madison with nearly 2,000 members, serving as one of the oldest and largest student organizations on campus. In some more local news, this afternoon, the Madison College community celebrated the Hmong New Year at the True Rocks campus. After a virtual gathering last year, today's in-person event consisted of live musical and dance performances, which could be enjoyed with some Hmong cuisine, as vendors were set up inside to sell food and other goods. A 2019 survey estimated Wisconsin's Hmong population at more than 58,000 people, or 29% of the state's total Asian American population.
Our intent is really how do we create a learning opportunities, right? For not just our Hmong community, but for those who want to know more about community, want to learn more about cultures, our traditions, our celebrations.
The event was put on by the college's Office of Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement. In national news tonight, President Biden has signed a bill to avert the rail strike that would have put hundreds of thousands of Americans out of work. Gloria Pismino has the details.
This is the House Joint Resolution 100.
President Joe Biden signed new legislation Friday forcing railroad workers into a labor agreement and avoiding a possible strike. A rail shutdown would likely have devastated the economy, disrupted commuter rail services, factory productions, and put hundreds of thousands of people out of work heading into the holiday season.
Our nation's rail system is literally the backbone of our supply chain, as you all well know, and so much of what we rely on is delivered on our rail, from clean water to food and gas.
On Capitol Hill, the House passed the rail agreement on Wednesday, followed by the Senate on Thursday. But it wasn't without complications. There was a push by progressives to add a provision related to paid sick leave, which the Senate failed to pass. President Biden vowed to keep pushing for paid sick leave.
Look, I know this bill doesn't have paid sick leave, that these rail workers and, frankly, every worker in America deserves. But that fight isn't over. I didn't commit we were going to stop just because we couldn't get it in this bill, that we were going to stop fighting for it.
Meanwhile, some good news for the U.S. economy. According to the Labor Department, 263,000 jobs were added in November, and the unemployment rate remained at 3.7%. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
The routine of putting your cell phone on airplane mode during a flight may be coming to an end. In Europe, regulators there recently cleared the way for devices that use 5G technology to remain on during flights. Aviation experts believe the U.S. industry is likely to follow. However, it is still expected the FAA will keep a general safety regulation in place that prohibits the use of certain devices. That is, unless operators determine a device is okay to use. A 2017 survey found about 40% of passengers admit to not putting their device on airplane mode. Still ahead at 10, supporting local artists and the economy while finding gifts for your loved ones this holiday season. That was the focus of this afternoon's Crafty Fair. We'll take you there next on News 3 Now.
All you have to do is point.
Yes! 1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Want luxury hair repair that doesn't cost $50? Pantene's Pro Vitamin Formula repairs hair, as well as the leading luxury bonding treatment for softness and resilience without the price tag. If you know it's Pantene.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe. Just one dose starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through with Vicks DayQuil Severe. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine.
Aw, come on! Leftovers are for quitters. That's why the Black Friday Super Sale at Denver Mattress has been extended. And for a limited time, the more you buy, the more you save. Get $100 off every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings stack up. Or get a $300 gift when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic. Buy one Dr. Choice pillow for $69.99 and get the second one free. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the extended Black Friday Super Sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
All you have to do is point.
Yes! 1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
A Madison mom says her special needs child was injured permanently when her school didn't follow a plan for her care.
I knew that there was something very wrong.
Now she's set to sue the Madison School District.
If it was your child, would you feel comfortable?
News 3 Now investigates, Monday at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
This afternoon, more than 100 local vendors set up inside the Goodman Center to sell homemade goods at the Crafty Fair. The event was started by Rosie Hobbaker in 2009, and now the fair has grown to bring together all kinds of artists and crafters from southern Wisconsin, selling handcrafted items like artwork, candles, jewelry, and more.
This is year 13. So yeah, we started with actually this room behind us. There were probably about 25 vendors. And this year we are topping out at 135 vendors. So 3 buildings. We have kids crafting area, photo booth, Santa made an appearance.
The Crafty Fair returns tomorrow from 9 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. A pug who took TikTok by storm has sadly passed away at the age of 14. Millions of people followed Noodle the pug every day to see if he was having a bones or no bones day. In each video, his owner, Jonathan Graziano, would sit Noodle upright to see if the dog could stand on his own. If he stood up by himself, it was a bones day, which became internet code for seizing the day. But if the pug flopped over, it was a sign that it was time to go back to bed. Graziano says he had no idea that Noodle would become the barometer that told the nation how their day was going to be. But he hopes the many fans on social media will join him in celebrating the life of his famous and well-loved pug. A blind eel, deep-sea batfishes, spiderfish, and more, all discovered and revealed on a seafloor in Australia. The deep-sea batfish is one of several previously unknown creatures found below the surface of the Indian Ocean near the Cocos Islands Marine Park. A team of scientists with the museum's Victoria Research Institute recently mapped the region across nearly 7,000 miles in detail for the first time. That brought newly discovered sea life to light, including the blind eel with loose, transparent skin, the pelican and slender snipe eels, high-fin lizardfish, and several others. We don't have to go to the bottom of the sea for this next story, but rather the bottom of a Waukesha County lake. That's where an alligator head had been before it came to shore for a curious house cat to retrieve. Kent Wainscott has the story.
And I looked out there in the calm water and I said, there's an alligator out there.
Wendy Wiesehegel has seen plenty of things on Lake Kesis in her 2 decades here, but never an alligator. And after all, this was far away. She wasn't really sure of what she'd seen until a few days later when she spotted her 2-year-old rescue cat, Toast, dragging something up from the lake.
It was about this big, honestly, you know. It was a smaller juvenile.
Small enough for the cat to drag in.
Small enough for the cat to drag in.
There, on the ground in front of her, the pieces of what appeared to be the head of a small alligator.
And I put them together, and I'm like, that's a gator. I said, I'm calling the DNR.
The DNR confirms for 12 News that it is the head of what was about a 3-foot-long gator, likely a pet that someone had dumped into the lake, which worries Wendy.
Very concerned because we swim out there, kids swim out there. We've got babies on this lake. We do not want anything to happen. We have lots of pets around here. We don't want anything to happen to them.
One thing that is still a mystery is how just the head ended up here on the shore for the cat to find. Well, Wendy has a theory about that, and it has to do with something that she saw out here across the water days earlier.
He was up in the top of that tree, way over there.
An eagle that is regularly seen here on the lake. Neighbors told Wendy they had recently seen it feasting on something rather large.
Yeah, the eagle was really, he was hunting for something.
It's how Wendy explains an alligator head in her yard that the cat dragged in.
I've never seen anything like it.
The gator head was sent off for further testing, with DNR officials asking anyone with information on how the alligator got into the lake to call the department's anonymous tip line. That's 800-847-9367. Let's take a look now at our certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright.
Another night of cold is on tap for us, but outside of that, we're going to see wind chills, once again, being in the single digits for many areas or even into the teens. So be prepared for a cold night to just cozy up next to the heater, or even if you have a fireplace and just a bunch of blankets. Cold is going to hold firm in the upper Midwest. We're not going to be looking at much improvements until we get into our Sunday afternoon. But for tonight, we're looking at low temperatures themselves to be in the teens and the lower 20s. But tomorrow, we will improve from what we had for our afternoon. For today, we're looking at the upper 30s for tomorrow, and wind speeds are still going to be lower than breezy for us. We're looking at 8 to 15 miles per hour, and thanks to that switch from southwest is why we're going to see milder temperatures throughout southern Wisconsin heading into our Sunday afternoon. Plenty of sunshine is going to stick around once again to close out our Sunday afternoon, but outside of that, once we get in throughout the rest of the weekend, we are looking for some slight developments once we get into our Monday. So let's walk through what to expect. Our Sunday morning is going to be on the colder side. Could see some clouds early, but that's going to clear up rather quickly. Lunchtime, wind speeds will pick up just a bit as they shift to the southwest, bringing in milder temperatures throughout southern Wisconsin. Around 5 p.m., we're going to be into the lower to mid 30s, but still plenty of clear conditions. Once we get into the overnight, we're looking at cloud cover to start to develop. And once we get into our Monday morning, Now, we're not looking for widespread or really any kind of travel impacts, but some developments of snow is going to be likely, especially around the 7 o'clock hour, just outside of the Dells. We're going to be looking at that system to continue to push itself into the upper Midwest, and mainly for areas just northwest of Dane County is where we're going to be watching for developments of some snow showers moving in throughout the early morning hours and into our afternoon. But we could see some of that snow also bringing a couple of flurries for us, or even some light accumulations, but mainly going to be on the trace side, and any accumulation from that snowfall is mainly going to be the far northwest. That'll be for the La Crosse area, Camp Douglas, and even for Black River Falls. And again, it's still going to be onto the trace amounts. But outside of that, what we're also going to be watching for is later into the week. We have multiple opportunities to see some flurries here in southern Wisconsin, but that's really going to go into our Tuesday nights. And on top of it, once we get into the back end of the week, going into Thursday, we could see a system bringing in just rain and some snow. And then next weekend, another system bringing in rain and, yes, once again, even some snow, especially for areas just north of Dane County that will start to switch once we get into our Sunday evening. So we are looking for next week to bring in a bit of activity, but it's mainly going to be the back end of next week. We could start to see some minor accumulations even for us here in Madison. As of right now, it's one thing we're going to be monitoring, but could also be the best opportunity for us to see some snowfall here in southern Wisconsin. So over the next few days, temperatures themselves will be rather tolerable for this time of year. And we're going to see 38 degrees for tomorrow, Monday around 40. Could see some snow showers or even some light flurries. And then we'll start to cool down a bit once again heading into Tuesday, but then we're stable into the upper 30s from Wednesday heading into the weekend. And again, McKenna, we do have a couple opportunities to see some more rain and or snow. Could see potentially some accumulations as well, which would be great for snow lovers for this time of year.
Dusting our trees for the holidays.
And we need that. We have to have like the Hallmark type of look since Christmas is just around the corner for us.
Exactly. All right, thanks, Jolene. Still ahead in sports, we go back to the field house for an in-depth look at the Badgers' second sweep of the weekend. Jordan has highlights up next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's one that'll really take you back.
It's customized home insurance from Liberty Mutual.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer on select Ford vehicles. Choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. So much. And that's how Ford is helping you. Proud of you, kid. Shine bright. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer. And shine bright.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis persists, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When UC got unpredictable, I got rapid symptom relief with Rinvoq. Check.
When UC held me back, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC got the upper hand,
Rinvoq helped visibly repair the colon lining. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission, and a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie could help you save.
There's nothing to do.
You should check out Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home with a 95% average payout.
And with so many slot machines, there's a game for every kind of player.
They're right, honey. And with new promotions and reward club perks all the time, there are more ways to win than ever before. Find your fun and visit Ho Chunk Gaming Madison today.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Now, what is happening?
When the Badgers get rolling, they are hard to slow down. Wisconsin enters the second round of the NCAA tournament fresh off a sweep on a 19-match win streak and with plenty of momentum. So it comes as no surprise that for the second night in a row, UW broke out the brooms. This time it's against TCU. So Wisconsin got to work on the very first serve of the night. It's an ace for Izzy Ashburn and a point for the Badgers. And they're going to be quick to add to that early lead. The Horned Frogs are going to send it over. Ashburn gets it to Danielle Hart, and you know the rest. Sarah Franklin tallied a team-high 13 kills tonight, while Anna Spreck and Devin Robinson each added 6. Wisconsin sweeps TCU to punch its ticket to the Sweet 16. They will host regionals this coming week and face Penn State in the regional semifinal on Thursday, a team they've beat twice this season. And in other volleyball news, the Badgers will get a chance to play at Pfizer Forum next fall when they face Marquette. The match is set for September 23rd, and it will be the first volleyball match to take place at Pfizer. The I-94 rivalry gets renewed this afternoon as the Badger men's basketball team heads over to Milwaukee to take on Marquette. Wisconsin won the matchup exactly 1 year ago at the Kohl Center, and they're coming off a tough loss in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, so easy to say this team's ready to get back on the court, back in the win column. And the first half is the Chucky Hepburn show. He didn't miss a single shot in the opening half. Heads into the locker room with 16 points as the Badgers led Marquette by 11. But the second half is a different story. The Golden Eagles start to rally with 22 seconds on the clock. Oso Ighodaro throws it down, ties this game up, and sends it to overtime. Well, Max Klesman's going to play hero. Final second, he floats it over a trio of defenders for the lead, and the Badgers win 80-77 in overtime, picking up their 6th win of the season.
Growing up in Wisconsin, you know how big the rivalry is between Marquette and Wisconsin. So, yeah, there's just a lot of pride, effort, and really joy that goes into it.
It's great. We got a young team, and we're kind of just getting thrown in the fire. We only got 4 or 5 guys who have played minutes before this season. And you can kind of tell, these close games let teams back. We're battling back, but it'll be good. Just be battle-tested going into March.
Quick turnaround for the Bucks. After losing to the Lakers last night at home, they're on the road facing the Hornets tonight. The Bucks' big 3 are sitting this one out, so Bobby Portis is taking the reins. 2 of his team-high 20. He helps extend the lead, and the Bucks bounce back, beating the Hornets 105-96. This season, the Badger women's hockey team has outscored Bemidji State 28-2, and almost half of those 28 points came yesterday in Game 1 of the series. Wisconsin lit the lamp 13 times, and all they need is just one more win to sweep the season series with the Beavers. Scoreless going into the second period, then UW gets to work. Vivian Jungles on cleanup duty for that first goal of the day. That plus 3 third-period goals, 2 coming off the stick of Britta Curl. Bucky wins it 4-1, improving to 10-1-1 in conference play. And men's hockey is fresh off an impressive upset of Michigan. The Badgers beat the 5th-ranked Wolverines 6-3 last night. Trying to break out the brooms today for the finale. It's tied at 1 in the second, and Carson Bantle comes up with that go-ahead goal. But the Wolverines answer just minutes later. They go on to win this one 4-2.
All right, thanks, Jordan. A final check of your first one forecast coming up when we return.
Hey, Lexus, play holiday music.
Make this December one to remember. Together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This Always Ultra Thin is our best yet. It wicks gushes 90% faster and absorbs even more for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort. This is triple protection from Always.
When you really need to sleep, you reach for the really good stuff. ZzzQuil Ultra helps you sleep better and longer when you need it most. It's non-habit forming and powered by the makers of NyQuil. ZQuil Ultra, when you really, really need to sleep.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits for smoother surfing, streaming, gaming, and more. Advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy on all your devices. And one line of Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data and nationwide 5G included. Get it all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-882-4999.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Think about the best night's sleep you've ever had. At Tempur-Pedic, we're dedicated to helping you sleep like that. With breakthrough solutions that help relieve pressure, aches, and pains, keep you cool if you sleep hot, and even automatically detect and respond to snoring, so you get the deep, comfortable, undisturbed rest you deserve.
And right now, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Damn. Hey, little brother.
Make this December one to remember. Happy holidays from Lexus.
Join us December 9th for Gio's Garden Holiday Party.
All right, Julian, it's December. When are we going to see some snow here?
Well, our best opportunity is going to be late next week. We do have also an opportunity going into our Monday. We could see a system bringing in a couple of showers of snow or even some flurries for the Dane County area. However, we also are looking for some more flurries going into our Tuesday nights, but any kind of measurable snow will be next week.